Hey guys, welcome back to Postal Barbecue. I'm Jabin Postal, and today at the grill, we're making the most amazing pierogi burger on the Sloan Sear kettle grill. And this is one of those recipes that's absolutely delicious, and you're gonna love it for sure. And so just like always, I'm gonna put all the show notes as well as the full recipe in the description box below for you. So make sure to click down there to see everything that you need for this cook. Also, if you like what we're doing on this channel, consider subscribing for more great barbecue recipes, tutorials, and reviews. And other than that, let's get into the cook. As I said, welcome back to Postal Barbecue. I appreciate you being here. Today at the grill, I'm gonna be cooking up a delicious pierogi burger. And this is one of those concoctions that, I've been thinking about for quite a while now, going back to my Polish heritage. As a kid, I remember my grandparents who immigrated here from Poland, they would always come over around Christmas time and they would spend a day or two making thousands of pierogis that we would just put in the freezer. And one of my favorites was always the sauerkraut pierogi. And it was a combination of sauerkraut, ground beef, a little bit of potato in there, and then of course your casing. And so this recipe sort of mimics that a little bit to sort of that childhood flavor that I loved. And so with this recipe, we have our 80-20 ground beef, some sausage, potato buns, and some sauerkraut. Again, this is because my favorite was always the sauerkraut pierogi. And so to get started with this recipe, I'm gonna first of all take my ground beef, and this is 1 pound, so I'm just gonna cut it right in half, and then I'm gonna ball these up. And these are gonna be some massive burgers today. I'm talking half-pound burgers. This is gonna be great. With this, I'm gonna just flatten it down. And these are going to shrink a little bit, so I want to make sure that I form them to just a bit bigger than the bun that we're going to be using today. Let's just get that like that. Just going to flip it over. And with burgers like this, you can keep it fairly simple with just that ground beef and then our seasoning. So let's get this second one pressed down. And when you're making these at home, use as much or as little as you want. I'm choosing the half pound, but if you want to go a quarter pound or 2 quarter-pound burgers to make a half pound, that's up to you. And so with those burgers pressed, I'm going to be using my Mad Cow beef rub today. And this stuff goes incredibly well on burgers. And so I'm just going to place a generous amount of this on there. Make sure I get the sides. Go ahead and use your favorite barbecue rub when seasoning your burgers. All right, there we go. That looks pretty good. And so because these burgers are so massive, I can use a digital thermometer to monitor the internal temperature as it's cooking. So I'm gonna be using the Meter Plus today, and I'm gonna place that right into the middle, just like that. And one of the advantages of making massive burgers like this is that you can use that digital thermometer so you don't overcook your burgers. And so today I want to cook these to about 140 degrees before I put them over the direct coals for that final sear. And so with everything all prepared for the burger portion, let me show you how I'm going to get the Sloan Sear kettle set up for cooking today. To set up the grill today for cooking, I filled up the Sloan Sear about halfway full using some lump charcoal. I then got those coals about halfway lit before closing the lid and letting those temperatures come up to around 250 to 275 degrees. All right, so with the kettle all set up for cooking, I'm gonna get these burgers into the grill. We're gonna be cooking them indirect today because I wanna bring them up to temperature slowly before putting them over the coals for that final sear. And so let's get them onto the grill opposite the Sloan Sear. There we go, there's the one. There's the 2. There we go. We'll get that lid closed quickly. And if you want to add in a little bit of hardwood for some smoky flavor, go for it. With these ones, I just want that natural flavor from the grill and that lump charcoal. And so, like I said, we're going to be cooking these to about 140 degrees. And so we'll come back when it reaches close to that point. All right, I just got the alarm saying that these burgers have reached 140 degrees. Let me show you what they look like. Look at that. They look incredible already. They're not quite done, but we're still gonna sear them off. But before we do that, we're just gonna mix up these coals a little bit because we want these coals to be roaring hot for the next step. All right, I'm gonna let those coals get roaring hot, and in the meantime, I'm gonna slice up some of this sausage and use whatever sausage you want. I like to use farmer sausage because whenever I'm making pierogis at home, I like to use some farmer sausage just to add to some of the protein. And so I'm gonna slice this fairly thin. That should be pretty good. And then I'm just gonna get this skillet into the kettle and right over those coals. And I'm gonna throw all of this sausage onto there. And if it's not hot, don't worry about it because we're just gonna warm up the sausage a little bit. All right, those are warmed up. And so I'm gonna grab my sauerkraut now. I'm just gonna add this to this same skillet. All right, that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna remove that from the grill, just place that right there. And now we wanna sear off these burgers. You know, they've already reached 140 degrees and we just wanna finish them off, give them a nice crust as well as bring them up to temperature a little bit more than that. They don't have to get up to 165 necessarily, but I want a nice sear on the outside of these burgers. So I'm just gonna move these over to the edge a bit more. Then I'm gonna spin it around directly over those hot coals, and then I'm gonna let them sear for about 45 seconds on each side twice. All right, well, this will be the last flip here. And then I'm gonna quickly add on some white cheddar to the outside of these burgers. There we go, and only a few more seconds on this. There we go. Then before I toast my buns, I wanna just clean off that grill grate. And then, like I said, today we're using some potato buns. And so if you've never used potato buns, this is the absolute best bun for this recipe because, you know, it really just goes along with that pierogi sort of feel. So I'm gonna get these over those coals and they're only gonna take about, 10 seconds or so. So you wanna stay on top of them. There we go, just rotate them. You can already smell that they're getting a little bit charred. And so that's all we need. Now for the exciting part, the building of the burger. And I can't wait for this because I've been dreaming of this burger for a long time. And so to get started, I'm gonna place on a little bit of garlic mayo to the bottom bun. And then of course, I'm gonna grab one of my burgers. There we go, just take a look at that. And you can see that the burger has shrunk down a little bit and it's the perfect size for this burger. And so that's exactly what I was shooting for. And then on top of that, we're gonna put on some of that sausage. And then to that, I'm gonna put on a generous amount of this sauerkraut. Oh, this looks so good. And then lastly, on the top bun, I'm gonna grab this coarse Dijon mustard. I'm gonna put a little bit of that on top of this bun. And they're gonna crown that and just take a look at that, guys. It looks absolutely delicious. This is the Pierogi Burger and I can't wait to go for the taste test. All right, I can't wait any longer. This is the taste test that I've been waiting to do for the past few months, and it looks phenomenal. This looks like the perfect burger to me, and so let's go for a taste. Holy crap. That's incredible. Guys, this burger is just incredible. It's so good. You get that juicy ground beef burger with that sausage and sauerkraut coming together so well with that potato bun. This is like a pierogi on a burger. No joke. You have everything that you need on it. It's delicious. And for me, with that Polish heritage and that love for barbecue, this might just be one of the best burgers I've had in a while. You pair it with some polskie ogórki. I love those things. And this burger is outstanding. This is one of those burgers that I hope you try out. It's so good. I'm gonna finish this one as well as even tackle the other one. So that's how you make that incredibly delicious pierogi burger on the grill. You're gonna love it for sure. Hey, if you want to see more barbecue videos just like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. Also, special thank you to all my patrons and channel members for supporting this channel every single week. Until next time, keep that fire lit and get cooking.